Vamos lá. Ok, está cargando aquí. Okay. Hello guys, good evening. Welcome to another English conversation here in our community. This is unbelievable. We are here with Ebenezer and Lucas for a new English conversation. Today we'll be talking about a topic that I found really interesting, that it's facing failure. It's a good topic to talk about because I believe that everyone has faced this kind of feeling. It can be in a different context, personal context, professional, or whatever. So it's important to bring these kind of topics to the table because all of us have different experiences and we can explain in different ways. So a little bit about this conversation. We don't have English teacher here. This is not an English class, so we are not gonna learn like a grammar structure, the grammar part of the English. We are just gonna use the English information and the English knowledge that we already have and we have studied. It's an beginner intermediate level English conversation. So if you want to join us, just send us a message directly there on YouTube, or you can follow on our Instagram page. That's it. So as we know each other, or we already had different conversation together, we're going to skip the self presentation part. So let's move on to the question number one. uh Ebenezer, could you please read the first one and try to answer it in your words?
Okay. Well, it says, can failure be a good teacher? Why or why not? Well, I agree that it is a good teacher because I think failure can show us what it doesn't work or what we were doing wrongly, and it show us in what part of the process we failed, and of course it highlights the worst part, or maybe the part that is not what was not working. You can join all the failure you have made, and of course you can create a strategy to success. So I think when you the more that you fail, the less the better you are, and the more that uh, the more that you can learn, right?
I am absolutely agree with that part. I love that quote that you brought here. That it's the more you fail, it's the better you will get at something that you started. As a matter of fact, today I read a quote about that, like a motivational quote, and it talks about it. And yeah, from my view, failure is the best teacher. Obviously, if you are trying your best, because you can fail, but you perhaps you didn't do anything to succeed. You just waited to fail and you failed for sure. But if you are trying your best and you are putting a lot of effort on something that you really desire, I believe that failure is a good teacher. Obviously, the feeling is not good, but I believe it's step further to the goal that you want to achieve. So yeah, that's my opinion. What about you, Lucas? What do you think about it?
I totally agree with you guys. I think it's a good teacher, but it's really hard to bounce back because we've thought, oh, I am terrible, I can't do it, and it's easy to give up when we fail. But at the same time, we think, oh, I, I need to be a persistent person. I need to try again and try again. Like if you want to do that thing, we need to be persistent. You need to keep trying because uh, the failure it's not the end of the process. It's a part. It's a hard part of the process, and I think we can learn a lot of things when we face failure.
Yeah, as you said, it's really tricky to understand that we're gonna fail several times. And I believe the most difficult part of learning something new it's learning how to deal with failure and don't like let that feeling of giving up to win that battle between continuing or beating failure or continuing pursuing your goal. It's the most difficult part, and I believe that when we already learn how to deal with it, like the journey start like becoming a little bit more soft. I'm gonna say, and I believe that in this journey that is learning a new languages or a new language, in this case English, we learn how to deal with failure because for sure in this conversation we are gonna make a lot of mistakes. So, but we already know that it's part of the process, and we are almost there, perhaps, and or at least we are not at the same time that where we started. We already evolved a lot from we started. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for your answers. It was awesome. Let's move on to the question number two. Lucas, could you please read the second one and answer
Yes.
it?
Um, what is the biggest failure you have experienced in your career? Oh, this is hard. I think when I think it's resigning from my former job when I worked as a in a drugstore, and I thought, oh, I need to change my career. I need to do new things, and I start after my firm job. I start in another job, and it was a terrible experience because I don't know. Wasn't what I thought when I quit my job, and I think I made a bad decision, and I need to do something about it. But of course, I think it was a good moment to learn. I think I improve a lot about myself, about the problems that I got in the new job. I become more confident facing challenge. But in the beginning, uh, I was feeling fear about why I changed my job. I think that's it.
For sure, you regretted a little bit about your decision. But as you said, you learn a lot from. I believe that we learn more from big mistakes, for big failures, than the little ones. That's how we build our character as well, how we grow as human beings, as like personally or professionally. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your experience, Lucas. And Ebenezer, what about you? Do you remember any specific time that you said, "Okay, I cannot do it," or "I feel really bad about it"?
Well, yeah, I remember a critical situation that I had to face. It was in on 2017. I was acting as a technology manager, and my data center caught fire, and we lost everything. We lost all the servers were they were unuseful. I remember it's like wow, it's something that maybe you can think that it happens in movies or something like that, but it was really difficult moment. But well, I think I have learned a lot about this. Thank God we didn't lose anything. We could recover all the data. We bought new servers, and we could set up again. But I didn't think that it could happen, but of course it does. Well, I don't know. I learned a lot of a big lesson, and of course it made me realize that I do really need to prepare more, and of course be more resilient for in that situation. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Ebenezer. I remember that part. I don't know if you knew, Lucas. We are Ebenezer and I. We are old friends from we were like kids, so we
Yeah,
know each other from when we were like 10 years old, 13 years old, like that.
something
So
like that.
yeah, so we are old friends, and I remember that the experience you told me about that. But I believe that you learn a lot of from that experience, and nowadays you are still a successful professional is something that you just remember just like that and as a bad experience or perhaps a yeah an experience just call it a
Yeah,
you call it a day. That's an expression I wanted to use.
yeah,
So in my case, guys, I don't remember specifically the year, but it was like kind of similar from Ebenezer experience. But it was about the project that I was working on. I was updating or upgrading the version of our clients. I work with software, so our software was working for we had clients from in the United States, Canada, and here in South America, and I was on the upgrade of that system. I already had done that work several times, so I had already a lot of experience. So I was really confident in that process. However, uh, after the upgrading, the day after that, the client told us that the server was like down, and unfortunately, after the upgrading, the next day was like a holiday, so we were not working. So we were like in a special event with my work. So we were in the swimming pool, like celebrating and thing like that. And I got the call, and there the guy from the United States told me that the system was not working, and it was my fault. I felt really bad. As a matter of fact, my manager told me that I had to move to another project. Like it was like sending me to like punishing me for the thing that I had done. However, that didn't happen. Then we discovered that it was not my fault. It was another guy's fault who sent me some configurations files wrong configured in a wrong way. But I believe that I learned a lot from that experience. And I just remember that like that as just an experience. And I believe that everybody has faced this or has had this kind of experience in her profession in their professional life. So thank you so much, guys, for have shared your thoughts, your experiences as well. Let's move on to the question number 3. I'm gonna read this one and I'm gonna answer this one. Okay. How do you usually react when you fail at something? It depends on the activity, on in what I am failing. For example, nowadays in my English learning and in my English daily practicing, when I fail, I don't feel like bad anymore. I see it like a sign of growth or improvement. But when I fail in something specific in my work, I don't know why, because it's the same process. It's not different like learning how to speak English or improving something specific in my work like that is IT. But I believe that I am a little bit less tolerant with my career than with my with my language learning. I don't know why, because as I already said, the process is the same. The tips or the process or the resources not, but the strategy that you use is kind of the same. But so I react like I have like the normal feelings, like it is sometimes stress, sometimes I feel overwhelmed. the imposter syndromes, I believe that attacks more when I fail in specific subjects about my career. Because as I have been working in that area for almost 12 years, sometimes I am like I'm not kind with myself. I believe, oh, you've been working with this a lot of time. How the heck you cannot do it? I believe that's why it hits me more. So yeah, that's how I feel. And what about you, Lucas?
This is a hard moment, and for me, I feel a little bit sad in the at the first part. But after that, I try to do a self reflection, and I try to understand what I did and what happened to happen the failure. How can I improve? And yeah, I try to bounce forward because I think as you said, every failure, every problem, difficulty that we have in our life or in our professional area, I think could be a good a good time or a good way to improve or learn something. And it is hard because if we do something wrong in the first time, I think hard to do again the same thing. So I think it would be a good moment to learn and try to not make the same mistake.
Yeah, for sure, it's a good opportunity, a good chance to do it, try to do it better the next time. Thank you so much for have shared your experience, Lucas. What about you, Benicio? How do you feel, or how do you react when you fail at something?
Okay. Well, today I think after surviving a difficult situation that I have faced, I think that everything could be solved. I have changed a lot in that case because mistakes are part of the day, and I completely believe that everything could be solved. Maybe um, maybe you're gonna solve it very quickly, or maybe it will last a while. But I don't feel bad anymore. I used to feel afraid and make me feel stressed. And but today I really agree that there is a solution for everything. So I just wait if I need to think more about the answer, or if I don't know how to start. I try to relax. I try to do another thing, think unplug from what I was doing, and try to relax and try to solve the problem that I am working on it.
Thank you so much, Benicio. I completely agree with the points that you have brought to our conversation. Thank you so much again for have shared. Let's move on to the next question. I found this one really interesting. Let me see here. Do you think entrepreneurs need to fail before succeeding? Mm, well, I believe that nobody was succeed. Nobody has succeed in life without failure, without failing before. Every single thing that you try to do it, you will fail a lot of times, several times before excelling it or before excelling it. So I believe that entrepreneurs are people who has learned how to deal with it. They live with it, as a matter of fact, because even entrepreneurs who are already successful will fail, even if they already have a lot of experience on that area. Even us who works in different fields, but we already have some experience. If we work on it like 10, 20, 25 years, someday we will fail again. So it's not different for entrepreneurs. But so that, yeah, that's my answer. So to create something new or to start something new, you will fail. That's why I 100% guarantee that is gonna happen. What about you, Benicio? What do you think about that?
Well, uh, entrepreneurs need to fail. I don't know if they need to fail. It's like it's because we are human, and of course we're gonna fail. And when you start, or when you start to be an entrepreneur, maybe you do not handle everything. You need to know your market, you need to know your clients, you need to connect with clients, and all those processes, of course, need time. And maybe you prepare something that not gonna, or your clients or the market not gonna, that they are not gonna be, maybe not, it's not useful for them. But and of course, it's difficult to build the persistence needed to succeed in entrepreneurship. So as a human, of course we are gonna fail, but with that failure, we could learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure. As human beings, for sure we are gonna fail in anything that we try. And what about you, Lucas? What do you think?
Yes, I think so. But the failure will not, I think, will not always uh, big, because I think they face it daily. Like they think, oh, I will start, I will run this new project about something not big in the company, and this project couldn't be a success. But it's it's now, it's every day they need to do something new, or I think they face difficult every day, every moment. So yes, I think they need to fail, because I how can I say, I forgot the word in English. Uh, Let me see. Prone, because they are more ready to do this, or prone, yeah.
Yeah.
Propenso.
Mm-hmm. Ron. Yeah, I believe that entrepreneurs, their work is kind of risky because it's their own money that it's in play. It's like it's different with CLT people than CNPJ people because we depends on a salary. So who is like taking the risk is the boss. But on the other hand, for others is different. So I believe that they have to really learn how to deal with failure as well to live with it. Yeah, and I believe that for them is a little bit more stressful, from my view. That's my opinion as well. So, thank you guys. Let's move on to the question number. I'm gonna skip the fourth one. Let's move on to the question number. Now I'm gonna skip the fifth one. I'm gonna go to the sixth one. Lucas, could you please the sixth one and respond that?
Yes. What roles does failure play in learning a new language? Oh, this is hard. I was trying to learn German. I'm trying to learn German, and every moment that I try to read something in German, I can't. I think, oh, I'm terrible. I need to learn more, and this is hard because I can study every day, 24/7, and this couldn't be enough to to learn German. So I need to understand that it's a process. I need to learn for a long moment, years, trying to learn, catching new words, vocabulary, expressions, Like I'm learning English for about I don't know, maybe 10 years, 8 years, and I don't know everything in English, and I need to learn every day, every day. So we need to understand that process. We need every day we are learning new things, and I think it's a good process. I feel pleasure to learn, and this is I think it's a process that we need to enjoy because every day we need to we can learn something.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that at the beginning it's really difficult to deal with failure when you are learning English, for example. Even more if you add to failure comparison and you start comparing yourself with other process, or suddenly appears another guy or your friends who speak really well in English and they tells you that they're learning like in 1 year or 2 years and you have already spent like 4 or 5 years and you cannot speak like them. But it's totally false that they did that. Even more if they are not like native speakers. I'm I am almost 100% sure that it's not possible. And nobody tells you that this process of learning English or a different language will take like 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So nobody tells you that it's gonna that's gonna be like that. Even more if you don't live in an English speaking environment. So yeah, I believe that with time we learn how to deal with it, and sometimes we just take it like an experience and a good opportunity to learn new things or to master something new. Yeah, that's it. Ebenezer, what about you? What do you think? What role does failure play in learning a new language for you? From you?
Well, I think it plays an essential role because, of course, if you are learning a new language, you're gonna have mispronunciation, you're gonna have grammar mistakes. When you talk with someone, maybe the conversation could be awkward, and I think it's part of the process. And nobody can know everything. Um, when you are trying to learn in a new thing, in this case a language. So I think this field failure is maybe we can use and build more confidence because we need when we practice more, you will feel more confidence, and of course gonna be fluent. The fluency will comes, and I think it depends of who is coaching you, right? Like someone that can help you to or showing you where are you making mistakes.
Something about pronunciation that I would like to share is that I already accepted that my pronunciation won't will never be perfect. I will never speak like a native American or British. And the same for in Portuguese. I will never speak like Portuguese. So it's something that I already accepted, and I believe that that helped me as well to like make one step forward to still progressing. Pronunciation is something really hard. I believe that people can reach a good pronunciation level, but they have to spend more time, not just learning grammar or structures. I believe that you can do it, but you will have to spend more time. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna add a question that it's not here in our list, but I would like to learn to know from you. Have you ever felt or have this the feeling of trying to give up on English some days, some years, in a specific moment on your English learning process? What about you, Lucas? Do you, have you ever thought about giving up of English on English?
Yes. When I started to learn, the first year was terrible. I didn't like to go to the class. Was really bored, and I thought, so I want to use this in my life. This is bullshit. And I actually I give up to study for about 2 years, and after that I returned to study because, as you said, when you start to learn something, it's really hard because we we have there are 24 hours in our days, and we spent for about 50 hours in Portuguese and 5 hours sleeping, and we just study for about 5 or 4 hours if we are engaged in English, because if if we if we don't be engaged, we just study for 1 or 2 hours in a day. So this is hard.
Yeah, I can feel you. I had the same position someday in my English learning journey, but I would like to know from you, Ebenezer, have you ever feel that? Have you ever felt that?
Well, until now, I completely okay. I think that I'm horrible. I'm terrible when I am trying to learn a new language. That's why I'm here. I try to be less terrible. So yeah. Well, I think that I can be better trying to learn more and of course there are for example listening. I remember that I couldn't when I in grammar. Okay, I was better, but in listening, Mm, I couldn't understand what a song says, right? So with practicing or trying to immerse more in the language, I start to understand better or try to to improve more, right?
Yeah, thank you so much for have shared your experience. It's good to talk about it because sometimes people's like sorry, sometimes people like watch these kind of videos and they can feel perhaps they are still learning English or they are still beginners, like in the first baby steps, and they can feel that for some reason we are good speakers. We already have like a good level of English, but the reality is not like that. The reality is that we struggled a lot to get this to at this point. I know there are a lot of people who didn't struggle so much because perhaps they had the resources, they had the support, or perhaps they loved learning English. It was not my case. I have never liked to learn English or things like this. So I believe it's important to talk about it and show people that even if you don't like it, or even if you feel that you are not capable to do it, if you work for it and if you are consistent, persistent on all of those words, you can reach that high English level or a good English level at least. So yeah, that's a good message. Thank you so much, guys. Let's move on to the next question. I'm gonna skip to the question number 9 because I found this really interesting to know more about your insights. Benicer, could you please the ninth one and respond that, please?
Okay, it says, is it possible to prepare for failure? How? Yeah, okay. I think yeah, we could prepare for failure. We can prepare mentally by accepting the failure. I think it's possible. Um, it depends. Like everybody gonna fail in different situations, but it depends. Um if you're gonna stick on that failure or you're gonna learn about this and you're gonna think about how I'm not going to do it anymore, right? So you can make a strategy, maybe you can make some plans, or when we are talking like financial situation, like how can I manage the risk if you are an entrepreneur, or make some strategics for not make the same mistakes that you have done. You are going to make mistakes, of course, but it depends of if you learn about these mistakes for the future.
I completely agree with you. From my view, is the same. I believe that it's impossible to be 100% prepared for failure, even though you have like the. I am the kind of people who, the kind of person who like uh, don't intend to, don't try to create like high expectation when something is gonna happen. For example, if I'm gonna do something or gonna study something or gonna try something new that perhaps could go wrong, could do well, I like put more expectation in the failure than in the winning. So I became like that, and I believe that that helped me to deal with failure more nowadays. But I, from my view as well, even more, even though, sorry, even though you are already like kind of prepared for that, if you fail, you won't feel like, okay, I was already prepared. It will hit you anyway. So I believe that it's like impossible to feel 100% like prepared to face failure. What about you, Lucas? What do you think about it?
As I agree with you, guys, I think it's hard to be prepared for every challenge or failure that we face in our life. But I think it's important to be reinforced in our mind. Uh, I think mentally is a important thing that we need to prepare uh, because when we face a failure and we aren't, oh my god, and we have a mind problem, it will be hard to overcome the challenge. So I think we need to organize our thoughts. We need to understand that everything is a process. It's just in a moment, and we can overcome this and happen. This will happen with everybody.
That's it. Thank you so much, Lucas, for have shared your point of view as well. We have, yeah, we have enough time to respond more, to answer more questions. Let's move on to the question number. I'm gonna let you pick one. Ebenezer, could you please pick one question? It can be from 10 to 15, whatever question you
Okay, let me
want.
check. Uh, well, I'm gonna pick the 12th. Have you ever turned a failure into an opportunity? Of course, when I faced that critical situation, I had to restore everything from zero to 100%. So it was a great opportunity to to make it again and make it better. Try, like when I was talking about this data center, I have some backups were in the same frame. So I moved all those backups to a different frame because I didn't think that all the data center gonna caught fire. So of course the opportunity was great because the insurance paid everything. We bought the new machine, new server. We rebuilt all the data center. It was really great. So in this case, maybe we lost uh, some server physically, bec- but it was not like, how can I say, it was not a proposal fire situation. It was like it was what caused this fire was the the batteries from the firefighters. They have like I don't know the word, but it's the machine that alerts the firefighters. They have some batteries that when they turn the light turns down, it works with batteries. So
Hmm.
the batteries start overheating, and they start melting, and they call fire. So that fire make the data center like an oven, and that heat melt different machines. So it was not a
Was an
human.
accident.
That's the word. It was an accident.
Hmm.
So the insurance. Uh,
Covered
uh,
everything.
yes. So that was a great opportunity to rebuild everything and new
Hmm.
machines, everything. So I
Yeah.
remember that attack. It was bad, but in the end, it was a great opportunity to be better.
Mm. It was good because, well, at the beginning you saw it like something terrible, but now that it already happened, or perhaps that moment, some days after that accident, you realize that perhaps it was something good, like to buy new things, to rebuild everything, and perhaps from the scratch it's gonna be better with new machines, with new computers. I don't know, but yeah, it was something good at the end of the day. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Benicer and Lucas. Do you remember any specific experience that was like similar, or perhaps your own experience?
Yes, when I changed my job and I worked in the not in a bad place, I improved myself. I started to learn English. I did more courses because I wanted to change the situation. You know, I wasn't comfortable in that place, and I think, oh my God, I need to change this, and I need to be prepared if I got an opportunity. And this happened. So I wasn't happy, but I could improve myself, and I got an opportunity after that, and was a good thing.
Thanks so much. My experience was similar that yours. I was not happy with my work, and yeah, it was in 2019 or 2020. But I was like thinking about leaving my job there in Bolivia, and it was like frustrating because they didn't want to like make me a salary rise because I was like playing another role, a different role in my team. So to make the long story short, I I had decided to quit, but I couldn't quit like at that specific moment because I needed the job. So I started learning a lot of new things. I retake my English studies as well. So it was similar than your experience, and as well I had to learn new things because I was like an obsolete on my career, and I believe that like that frustrating moment became something good for my professional growth and for my personal growth as well. And nowadays I am happy with that decision, and so I am living now here in Brazil, and it's at the result of that decision that I made some years ago. Lucas, it's your time. You can pick up one question on the list.
Okay. How can failure affect someone's confidence and self-esteem? Oh, I think failure affects a lot the confidence of the person. You feel so bad when you face a failure, and as you said, we need to have a good mentally and try to understand the moment and try to overcome, but affects a lot the confidence.
Yeah, for sure. As I already said, I believe what was the name? I forgot in English. The let me give me 1 second. I forgot. But I believe that that feeling it's awful. Even more if it's something about that you thought that you were really good at. The imposter syndrome, that was that was the word I wanted to use. That hits me so much every single time. And when I fail, my confidence get like down or low, and I lose a little bit about my self-esteem as well. It's really difficult. I'm not sure if I will be able to like to lead with it like 100% without any problems or without any worries. As a matter of fact, I'm preparing myself to take the proficiency test in English this year, and I'm really afraid about failing because I talk a lot about my studies, or even I started this kind of community. I lead this kind of conversation, and I put all of that pressure on me that perhaps I will fail, or perhaps I'm not gonna get the band or the score that I need. But yeah, someday I will have to face that exam. And what about you, Ebenezer? What do you think about it?
Well, I think in the short term it can lower self-esteem and create doubt, right? But it depends. In my case, when I was younger, of course, I was not really sure in some situation about in my work experience. I moved to another country as a first employee experience, so I'm not really I'm not really confident about myself. But I think that time has passed. Today, I'm not the same as I was, of course. I think that failure can affect, of course, it affects. Nobody wants to fail, and when you fail, as a human, you feel bad, right? But I have learned to handle this kind of situation today. If I fail, I can see, or I try to figure it out. Where did I fail? And I try to try to think, how can I avoid these kind of fails or these mistakes. It doesn't make me feel as bad as I used to feel. Maybe because I'm getting older, but I am more resilient today. But of course, it depends of the failure. You can face bigger ones, and of course, gonna affect you more. But we need to learn how to handle of those situations.
Yeah, that's it. And something that you said, it's really was really powerful. I am not the same person that I was, and that's the time that we really realize how we grew and how different we are now. And we learned all of those new things from our mistakes, and it's something that it's really powerful. So, guys, that's it about our today's topic. I would like to know from you briefly how was your experience, how your experience was here in this conversation. So, I would like to start with you, Lucas. Tell us how was it for you, if you like it, and if you learned something new. It can be about life, about vocabulary, about English, whatever you want. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I liked a lot. I tried to choose new vocabulary. I used the vocabulary list. It was a good thing to try to get new words, new vocabulary. I liked it a lot, and Thank you. It was a good moment.
Thank you so much, Lucas, for participating. I believe that you participated in almost all of the conversation here, so thank you so much for your support. Yeah, I hope to see you in in the next conversation as well. Ebenezer, how was it for you? And if you learned something new today?
Yeah, the topic is very interesting because everybody here uh, gave his point of view and shared with us the different situation that we have lived. So in this kind of situation, there are specific vocabulary to use. So I really I really learn a lot about the vocabulary listed in the document. So I really enjoy it. I really like it, and we use this situation to share and of course to learn it too.
Thank you so much again, Ebenezer and Lucas. So that's it for today. The next week I will be a little bit busy, so I won't like arrange our conversation on Monday, but I'm gonna restart again on September. I believe, yeah, in September. So I'm gonna post it on LinkedIn. So, but you already know the next week we won't have, unfortunately, our conversation. But I hope to see you in September, and thank you so much for your supporting again. And for those who want to participate, just send us like a message, or you can follow us on Instagram. You will be always welcome to this kind of conversation. Thank you, guys. Have a good night, and see you in September. Bye bye.
Bye bye.